seeing isn't severe at the moment. One concerning aspect of that latest scan there, you can see somewhat of a hook right there that wasn't there earlier. And that is somewhat co-located with where we're seeing the area of rotation. That's a look at the reflectivity. That's rainfall that you're going to see, heavier rain. And here is going to be your winds. And you can see just exactly where that hook echo is. That little notch and the leading edge is where you're now finding the blues becoming a bit more organized in a tighter, compact area. That's where we would find the circulation. That's where the rotation is going to be. And it is running pretty much just parallel with State Highway 35 and 190. So if you're in Darrisaw this morning, the community there, your phone's probably alerting you. You are under a tornado warning. You might be hearing some sirens, and there is rotation. It is heading your direction, and it's heading there quickly. You're probably not going to see it. It is dark outside, of course. There's a lot of rain with this system, and the terrain in this area just isn't conducive to seeing much at all, especially with all the trees there in Grant County. Here's that little hook you can see, and you're going to notice that's exactly where we were finding the rotation. So that's not exactly the best news this morning. We were hoping this would fizzle out and we'd lose the rotation. That's not what we're seeing as of right now. Tornado warning continues until 5 o'clock at 4:46. So that was just about 5 minutes ago. The Weather Service still noted that this thunderstorm was capable of producing a tornado. The area of rotation at that time was near Slabtown, and it's actually picking up speed. Initially, when the warning was first issued, this was moving towards the east at 45. It's now moving at 50 miles per hour. We'll do another track here, and we'll just carry this thing into Jefferson County. It's moving so quickly that it doesn't hurt to go ahead and get an idea of who may be impacted by that system. And there you see it's going to be pretty close. If you're anywhere in this cone, that storm is going to have impacts on your community. You can see those estimated times of arrival in the top left of your screen. With that said, if you live in the red, you're under the tornado warning. Jefferson County is not in that tornado warning at the moment. The Weather Service is monitoring it for the potential of expanding it into Jefferson County, but right now you are only under a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. The rotation just to the north of the community of Grapevine. So if you live in Grapevine, this is passing just off towards your north. This is an east-southeast Jefferson County. Excuse me, I want to be clear there, Grant County, moving into Jefferson County this morning. Rotation isn't very impressive. It is there, but it is a bit on the weak side. And as I'm going to move over to storm relative winds, we are actually seeing an additional area of rotation that wasn't what the warning was initially for, but if you look towards Prague, it's going to be along State Highway 270. It's in the same warning polygon, but that's actually a different area of rotation that wasn't what spawned the initial warning. So that's something to be concerned with as this line of storms continues tracking off towards the east. If there's any producers in the booth, I'm curious if there's any RDOT cameras in that area. I know there is one on State Highway 270 near Whitehall. I think it's pointed towards the north. We might want to be monitoring that. This storm is moving so quickly that we may have a visible view of that here shortly. If you're just joining us this morning, we do have a tornado warning in effect. This is for parts of Grant County, the eastern part of Grant County. Now, Sheridan, you are in the tornado warning, but I can go ahead and give you the all clear. You're on the back side of the area of rotation. The Weather Service will likely trim you out of that warning polygon here in the next few minutes. Crossroads, you are also in the clear. The area of rotation right now is going to be right here, just towards the west of Darrisaw, but this is moving so quickly, this radar image, it's possible that it's not keeping up with the actual speed of the storm, given how fast it is moving now, up to 50 miles per hour. If you're in Doylestown, and that's going to be in Jefferson County, even Whitehall, you might want to go ahead and just start moving to that center room in your home, nearest or furthest away from any windows or exterior walls. Jefferson County is not in that tornado warning. However, this is exhibiting a bit of a hook echo there, as well as enough really broad rotation that it's possible that the Weather Service extends that warning off towards the east. They've not indicated as such thus far, but they are watching it with every scan. This storm was initially noticed at 4:14 this morning, and then at 4:38 the Weather Service did go ahead and issue that tornado warning for most of Grant County, and it is continuing to push now into far eastern Grant County. If you live along State Highway, that's 35, and then that becomes 190 just to the north north or there on 190, that's where you're going to find the first initial area of rotation, and then a secondary, more organized area of rotation actually just to the north, and that's going to actually be near, well, it's going to be along State Highway 270 there, just to the near Prague. Grant County has no reports thus far, and the Weather Service is planning on allowing the tornado warning to expire at 5 o'clock. And they're going to go ahead and keep a severe thunderstorm warning on it, given the fact that we can't expect 60-mile-per-hour winds with this system. We're going to have to watch this line pretty closely over the next probably hour to 2 hours before it eventually clears the area. The good news is that rotation, while at one point was more co-located and tight, it is not. It's pretty much broadened out along that line right there. We do want to keep an eye on this area right here, those greens embedded in the reds. That's some really broad rotation that wasn't there when the initial tornado warning was issued. So I've gone very long on my full weather this morning, so let me conclude that tornado warning coverage there. We have no reports, and that warning will be allowed to expire. Once this line clears the area, it's going to be much cooler. In fact, you're going to see those winds shift to out of the north, and the temperatures are going to steadily drop. In fact, we're currently sitting at 57. We'll actually only warm up, well, we won't warm up at all. We're going to see an afternoon high of 55 degrees. Skies will continue to clear. It is going to be a breezy day. We'll be dry through Thursday, but Friday we have another storm system likely to take shape and bring some chances of scattered rain and thunderstorms Friday, Saturday, and then tapering off by early Sunday morning. Let me go back to the Doppler radar one last time before we conclude the coverage of this specific tornado warning, and then give one more idea of statewide radar. You're going to see where that line of thunderstorms is. It's oriented from the southwest near Texarkana all the way back towards Memphis, towards the north and east, and it is moving pretty quickly off towards the east southeast. So Pine Bluff, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Damaging winds in excess of about 60 miles per hour can be expected. Whitehall, you're also into that warning. I am seeing a few of the little kinks along this line. That's where you would find rotation. That's where we find those hook echoes, those notches. I'm going to be watching those closely here over the next few minutes to make sure we don't have any rotation. Should we do note some rotation, we'll of course be sure to break in and let you know. For now, I'll send it back to Hayden and Amanda.